Holy shit. Has it been a week? I guess it has. It's been a busy week, man. Hey, you guys normally watch my channel. I know we only got a few of you, but I appreciate every one of you. But you know that I talk about two people all the time, two podcasts. Nate on Valhalla and this guy, Jesse on Fire. And hey, guess what? He agreed to be on the show. So bring him up there, Justin.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Jesse, thank you so much for coming on, bro.
You are very welcome.
Before we start, man, I just wanted to say you are a breath of fresh air, dude. Me and my wife always watch podcasts. That's what we do. We don't watch news. We watch podcasts together. And to have a man on a podcast that loves his wife, loves his kids, centered around his family, and ain't afraid to speak the truth, dude, you are a breath of fresh air. So thank you so much.
You are very welcome. That is, I include my family in the whole thing on purpose. I make it seem like I don't, but it's intentional for that exact reason, where it's like, if the only options for people now are, they can either be a woke weirdo pussy, or they can be some weirdo like trying to be Andrew Tate. Those are both very poor role models.
Yeah, and dude, it's just so cool to see somebody who has it, because that's me and my son did this to connect. We have 8 kids, so me and my son said, you know what? Let's just do this so people can see, you know, what real men are. You know, guys at work, guys that love their kids, love their wife. And dude, it's just so nice to see somebody who does that. So I appreciate it, and I'm sure your other fans appreciate it too.
Thank you. I hope so.
Oh, they do, man. We do. So
hey, wait 1 second.
Okay.
So I've never used this platform before.
StreamYard. I can tell you what's up.
It's not showing. It's showing live on StreamYard, but it's not showing live on our YouTube channel.
Did you connect? Oh, we were gonna do this live. I didn't realize that. I thought you were recording. Have you? You've never used this platform before?
No, I usually use OBS.
So did you integrate your channels into StreamYard or no?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so then, and it's not showing on your YouTube?
No, it's not. It's still showing like our scheduled live stream on YouTube, but it's not showing that we went live.
I don't know.
it's recording though, so we can put it on there.
Yeah, we should.
Oh, it's recording though, right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. You can't, like, if it says recording, it just means then we're recording. Like,
well, it says live in the top left corner, but we should also be recording.
No, live, like that it's recording, I think.
Yeah, live that you're recording.
Okay.
Dude. Sorry, Jesse.
Oh no, you're good.
We're done.
Because it's either. Wait, this does show. Oh, private chat. Yeah. So, my viewer comments show up in StreamYard. This is an example. Oh, okay. It says join the chat. What the fuck? I don't know. I think I'm pretty sure you're probably just. Oh wait, now it says recording hasn't started. What the fuck?
Told you, Jesse.
I don't know.
I think we got it.
But you're sure that it's recording, right? Because you can just edit this out later. But like, you're sure it's recording, right? Yeah, because it says live.
Yeah, it's recording.
Yeah, as long as it's recording, just post it afterwards.
All right,
I've got it's private right now, so we'll get it. You guys can go. Sorry about that.
All right.
Oh, it's private. It's private on your channel.
Yes.
Oh, right.
I can fix it right now. You guys are good. You're
all right.
Cool.
All right, whatever. So they don't get to watch it, but that's fine. I'm cool. We'll do it later. All right, where was I? Oh, okay. So sorry, Jess.
Oh, you're good.
All right. So yeah, we appreciate that. Now, what a lot of people don't know with Jess is that you're just not another pretty face on YouTube. You do have a past, and you are an entrepreneur. Can you tell us a little bit about that, bud? And make me feel like a bigger loser than what I already feel like.
Oh, I don't think that would be the case. I mean, like before I started doing this, I had like, man, of anybody that I've ever met, I think I had like at the age I was at when I started doing this, I had done more like different things in different sectors than like anybody that I knew, because it was just like the circumstances of how my career played out. It was like I got out of college and I immediately went into real estate, and that was during the bubble when you could put a monkey into a chair and they could make six figures doing mortgages even if they spoke little to no English. And so I did that for a couple of years, and then the market completely collapsed, and then so the industry just like disappeared overnight. All right. So I went into I started a company with some guys that was in debt settlement, which is essentially like servicing the exact same need as, because the real estate thing when that was going on, what the business really was people using the equity in their homes to pay off debt, because they were, their house is now worth $400,000 more than it was a year ago. And they're like, okay, well, we've got $100,000 in credit card debt. We don't have to file bankruptcy. So you just refinance their home, pay off their credit card debt, get them a lower rate. And but like the whole thing was based if the market ever goes down and then their loans are, not, where they don't have any more equity, they're going to be fucked, because all of these loans are only fixed rates for a short period of time, and then they're going to go up. It's like one of those things where even when I was young and didn't really understand how everything works at a macro level, I was like, man, this is going to be bad whenever this turns out. And it's exactly what happened. But so the other side of that was, as soon as the real estate thing collapsed, me and my buddies were like, okay, well, if people can't pay off their debt with their homes anymore, we should start a company that gives them the ability to like deal with the debt in a different way. So we started a debt settlement company, and right as we started to blow up, like we were just like, I was living on, I think that we were paying ourselves like maybe like, I don't know, $3,000 a month or something while we were building the company, just like absolute like subsistence level and putting everything back into the business. And I remember like we finally got all the startup costs paid off. We had our employees were doing sales, whatever. And it was like, okay, well, this is going to be our first distribution, like monthly distribution. And the way that the money was going was it would compound up. And so the first month that we did a distribution, I made I think 20,000. A couple of my partners made like 40. And it was like, oh my God. I'm like, oh God, thank God. I've been broke for so long. And then literally the second month was more than that. And then right then, so 2 months, we worked our balls up for, I don't know, a year to get there. And then they started talking about passing legislation that was going to make what we did illegal. And it was just like, oh my God, you have to be fucking kidding me. So like when, and I still had PTSD from when the mortgage industry imploded and I had no options. Like I had a new wife, like it was just, so when they were talking about, passing the law that was going to make what we did illegal, I just panicked and I was like, they're going to pass it. I fucking know it. They're going to pass it. And so I ended up selling my part of the company to my partners and then taking a job in like medical device sales. And what ended up happening is they did pass the legislation. So I was right. But then my partners figured out a loophole to get around the new legislation. And so all of our competitors ended up going out of business, and my former company blew up, and they ended up selling to a private equity firm maybe like 8 years ago for some ungodly amount of money. It was fucking millions. All of them made millions of dollars. And and so there was like when I was in the medical device stuff and I fucking hate sales, man. And I was doing it and I was looking at them just crushing it. It was just it was like every time that I was doing anything, it felt like a fucking razor blade to swallow it. It was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to go do this. But then I started after I did that for a few years. Then I started a company in tech. It was a real money daily fantasy game, and I built that. That's the one you were referencing that was in Forbes. And that one we had a we basically were a competitor of DraftKings. We had a reality show that was getting made on a network, on Esquire Network, and like it was just one of those. It was right there where if that like one or two, just actually really one thing would have gone our way, my life would have taken a very different trajectory. And that, I mean, because that was like a very real, it was one of those things where I knew I'm like, this is either going to end in crash and burn, or I'm going to be a billionaire. Like there's just no two, because that's where DraftKings and FanDuel were. They were already getting billion-dollar valuations and only going this way. And I was like, if we end up getting this, you know, the TV show goes to series, there it is inevitable that we're going to be a competitor of them. And I mean, so, but then Esquire Network went out of business, and then I sold the company for $8.5 million. But the company that I sold to, they, you know, the deal was structured in stock for a lot of it. So it was like,
Okay.
you know, and then in the time, so like when you sell your company and you're compensated in stock in the new company, there's always a period of time that you can't sell the stock because they don't want you to like come in, get a bunch of stock, sell it, and it just crushes their share price. Yeah. So we had a 6-month piggyback before we were allowed to sell any of it. And during that period of time, the CEO of the company that had acquired us got caught having embezzled like $35 million of investor funds. And so the stock went to zero. And so we lost all of that. Then, and so I went from in Forbes to bankrupt because at the end of that story, I just tell this story because
it's like, that's a sad story, man.
Oh no, but it has a happy ending, you know, like now. But it was like from, and I just tell the story because there are a lot more people who have gotten their dicks kicked in than there are people who have fucking made millions of dollars doing what they're doing, you know. So it's like, I just tell the story because I assume people will relate a lot more to this side of it than fucking, you know, I got a TV show, it made $1 billion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you picked your ass up and you made something yourself.
That's exactly, and that's the other thing. That's exactly why I tell the story. And it was like, so yeah, we filed, when I sold the company, and then in between, so they like when that stock went to zero, if you sell any company you sell, like if you have company associated debt, the company that buys it, now they owe that debt. Yeah. Yep. So I had just lost the, you know, I just lost all of that stock. And then like maybe 30 days later, while I was still scrambling, trying to figure out if there was a way I could rehabilitate this thing, because what was going on in conjunction was this is when all of these states started making daily fantasy illegal. So you couldn't raise any funds anymore because, and then so the, I got a notice that, that there was, you know, there were not, I don't know, 90 days behind on these payments for these loans that were associated with Thing. And I found out that even though I'd sold the company, because I personally secured the loans, it didn't matter. They were still on me. I'd sue that company and I would win, but there's no money. They don't have any money. So like at the end of the day, I owe like $400,000 and personally. So I went from about to have a TV show, billionaire potential, to chapter 7 in like a matter of like 12 months.
But so that is a great lesson. And I'm glad because I was like, we don't have to talk about it.
Oh, I'm
glad we did, because that's another thing to teach kids and these young men out there. Just because you fail, man, don't mean you're done.
Not at all.
Get your ass up and do it again.
Yep. It hurts though. I mean, it fucking hurts.
You learn every time though.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's the main thing. You know, I'm not doing that shit again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the one thing is sometimes with a project like that, the first time that you do it, you have this level of man, what's the right, like you're possessed and you're like, this is gonna work, and that's all you do is work on the company and all of these things, and then like you're naive, but it's like you're blissfully naive where you don't realize all the things that can go wrong and you only see the end game. And so it, you know, and it just, things start happening around you and you're like, this is happening. But then like, if that one doesn't work, then in the future, when opportunities arise there, maybe, you know, start this company, do that. It's like, now, you know, enough about what it takes to win that you're like, I don't know, man. Like, it's almost better. You're much better equipped to be a good leader and build the organization and do all of those things, except with this fucking anchor that's tied to it, where you also, because you know all of these different things, but you also know how easily it can just go if you fuck it up, and it's like, or the external things happen. So it's I mean, it's a double-edged sword, but again, I learned a ton. And then so after that happened, I took a chief product officer role with a tech company in Utah. And then we moved to Utah. The entire company was all Mormon except for me. Literally, I was the only employee that wasn't Mormon. And so when they were like, okay, we got to trim costs, I didn't realize this either. I had negotiated. I was the highest paid employee in the entire company. And so, as soon as it was like, oh, we got to cut some costs, they immediately fired me.
Get out the infidel.
What's that?
Get the infidel out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. And so at that point, I was in Utah, didn't know anyone, unemployed, still was reeling from what happened with the company. And then all that is just, that's the worst time of my entire life. That's like rock bottom. But what made it the worst, I think the worst part of that period was actually the debt settlement company. Like knowing that if I would have just stayed there, that that was right around when I'm pretty sure I think that's when they sold. So it was like, I'm literally living in this like hopeless, I have no options. My wife was she was 5 months pregnant when it happened. Like and then so I'm trapped in Utah. There's nowhere to go. I don't have any friends out there. So I'm just trapped in this house with a wife that doesn't work, 2 kids and one on the way, and no options to make any money. And in the back of my mind, all day, every day, it was just like, if you would have just stayed with that company,
I bet
you would have made $20 million. It was just fucking torture, dude.
Just kicking yourself in the ass.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, then I ended up taking a job that I had no options, but I took a job in software sales, which was a good paying job. And the only reason I even got it was because I knew the guy and he hired me. And I worked that, and then I started the channel. And it was like, as soon as I started the channel, I was like, this is going to work. I already knew. The reason I was so confident that the fantasy sports one was going to work, when I in retrospect, it was like, I knew that the reason that we were going to win is because of the show. It was like, I knew that if they put me on camera and put me on the network, that people were going to align with my journey in a way that it's like one of those things where I can see it and I couldn't understand how that was not so obvious to the network people. But what I didn't know is they were running out of money. Cause they were saying oh yeah, we're going to go to series, but then they were running out of money. That's why they didn't do it. But I knew I knew that it was the driving force behind it was going to be me on camera. So when I started the channel and I just started realizing oh no, this is completely in my control. All of these fucking things that had happened in my life before this were circumstances that were outside of my control, all of them.
Yep.
And when I started the channel, I was like, this is like, my fate is going to be 100% determined by me. And it was like, I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone's fucking help. There's no external factors that are going to play in. And so, the first time that I put everything on my shoulders, look at the result. Yeah. And then,
awesome.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. I got a question for you, man, about, we deal with a lot of conspiracies on here. We dabble in everything, and it's shut up and think, because people don't communicate no more. You're on the right, you're on the left, you're conservative, you're liberal, but I'd like to know why people think the way they think. Mm-hmm. I don't think people are bad. I think most people have good intentions. I just want to know why they think the way they do when I disagree with them. All right. But when did you wake up to the corruption in the world and in the nation, and that shit just wasn't right? Some people say it was 9/11. Some people are waking up right now looking at what's going on with Trump and how you can't even recognize him from when he ran and what he's doing. When did that happen to you?
I mean, I didn't pay like super close attention to the political stuff until I think honestly it was like when Trump got elected the first time. I was like I was floored by that, and for the reason as simple as this is I was like, I don't know how all of this policy stuff fits together. I don't really understand how Congress does whatever, like in real life, how that actually happens. But what I do know is that the president of the United States is going out and representing us and having conversations with these other world leaders. And like Trump's a fucking reality TV star. Like, I don't understand how people don't recognize that this makes us look bad. Like, it's not like it doesn't look good. This looks stupid. Like he's on the fucking The Apprentice, you know. It's like this looks dumb to me. And and also he's never been in government. Why the fuck would we think that this guy's qualified to run to be the president? First of all, why are you allowed to run for fucking president if you've never even been in Congress or even in state level government? It's fucking retarded.
Or even an attorney.
It's so dumb. Like, it's so fucking dumb. It's like, at the very, like, I don't think that that's unreasonable that someone needs to have served at least one term in fucking Congress at least before they're allowed to run for president, the top person. It's literally like, they have, the president has more power than any person in the world, at least in terms on paper. And you're like, so, well, if you want to be if you want to be a C-level executive in this company over here, you have to have a really strong, like this AI company, you have to have a really strong background in AI because you need to understand the industry before it. And
any other job.
And fucking president, nuclear codes, all that. You're just like, any fucking dumb asshole off the street can just run. And they're like, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. And the reason that they never, the Trump effect is actually what led to me understanding how all of this shit fits together. Because the reason that they never made those requirements is because the people who actually run the world never anticipated that there was a world where there would be someone who could win in the paradigm that they've set up with the debates and all that stuff that they did not already control. And so the president in reality is a puppet. That's what they actually are. They're a puppet. They are no matter. I mean, that's just not, it's not even fucking debatable. Like in almost every other case, they are a puppet, or at the very least, if they're not a full puppet, like if Hillary Clinton wins, she's nobody's puppet, dude. But she is aligned with the same people who would puppeteer someone else. And so like she's transcended to a level where she's almost like, where like she wields so much power, or she did before. Yeah. That like she's seen much more like an equal to those people than most of these politicians would. But the bottom line is it's the same outcome.
Either way. Yeah. And that's what I keep on telling people that watch our channel is none of them on your side. They're paid by the same people.
Well, they might start there. Like they might start with like as an idealist. And this is the reality of any that just is just a true statement. Everything looks different if you're on the other side of the veil. So like if you think that you understand what the decision process looked like on the Epstein files, as an example, if you're like Kash Patel or Dan Bongino, and these guys, they were like, we're going to release these fucking files. We are going to go do it, yada, yada, yada. And if you would have asked either of them before they ended up in office, like let's say hypothetically you guys get into office and there are 4 or 5 million documents implicating some of the most powerful people in the world in unspeakable crimes. And there will be videos and there will be like everything we've suspected is going to end up being documented truth. Is there any scenario where you guys would cover that up? And both of them, you could strap them to a lie detector test. No, there's no, like they would say with 100% certainty, there is no set of circumstances at all where we would cover that up. Not possible. And yet they end up in the government and they fucking cover it up. And the thing is like,
that's due to threats.
I have no, honestly, I don't know. I think honestly, for real, honest is, I think that people who are in the public who have never served in any kind of government role, they think that they understand how things work, but they don't. And I think that they take for like people think that order comes very easily. That like, oh yeah, you know, but when you're on the other side, I think that when you're really looking around, people don't realize how close to fucking chaos we are in all the time. Absolutely all the time. Like where it's, you know, a couple things. And so if you end up on the other side of the veil and you look and it's like, Jesus Christ, this is going to destroy the system. And it's like, if the system goes down, you know, we know what happens. And so it's possible. Part of it is that I think more likely in this case is that puppeteers and people from Israel who were running Epstein and then all, because at the other side of the conversation, when you like get to the other side of the veil is this, it's like, there are universal facts related to, or universal kind of goals that everybody definitely wants to be the case, even if they don't really realize it because they're citizens and they don't get it. And it's like, so I'll give you a perfect example of how I would end up in government and I would cover that up is it. Let's say that I get to government and people give me the lay of the land of like, here's how everything actually fits. Here's who we're interacting with in these other countries. There's conflict in Ukraine because of blah, blah, blah. And there's some reason that has to do with real serious geopolitical leverage related to China. And we're doing this negotiation with China. If we don't secure the mineral rights in this mine here in Ukraine, they are going to steamroll us and the dollar is going to collapse and whatever. It's like, we have to win. And you're like, oh, okay. So we like have to.
So we got to do what you do.
We have to win. Yeah. Like we have to win over here. And then part of how we are going to secure whatever this, you know, thing that we need to have over here is we open the fucking Epstein files. And one of the decision makers over there, I've got him on video fucking a kid. It's like, I'm not, the second that I expose that has no value. As of this moment, I know for 100% sure that fucking creep is going to sign off on anything that I tell him to. It's like, you need to sign this. You remember when you did this? And so at the end of the day, what the Epstein files actually is,
we're holding on to leverage.
It's leverage. And if you're people with their ideals and principles are asking the people who have this material to take all of the value accumulated in the files, which is probably not even, you couldn't even calculate it if you tried, and just give it away and then the people are like, all right, we knew they were creeps. And then you have no leverage anymore. Now you get all new people in these roles, like all new people in these roles. And you have no fucking idea what it's like just taking the pin out of a fucking hand grenade and just rolling it into a room and having no fucking idea how it's going to blow up.
For just the satisfaction of being right.
Or for making fucking creep pedophiles pay for their crimes, which is a good reason to do it.
I get it. And, you know, I'm like, let the chips fall where they may. I don't give a fuck what the Dow Jones is. I don't care that, you know, Pam Bondi in front of Congress. I'm like, who in the fuck cares about that? We're talking about kids.
Well, also, she's clearly reading talking points that are fed to her. And she's just like, I mean, Pam Bondi's just a good little soldier. That's all she is. She's doing like Trump is behind all of that stuff without a fucking doubt. And you could tell by how poorly it was executed. It's like, you know, I mean, honestly, if in another life, if someone ever tapped me on the shoulder for help with this exact type of thing of like, how are we going, like crisis management PR, dude, no one could fuck with me on this. And people make such fucking obvious mistakes with what they are, with what the decisions that they make when they just miss little things like, I mean, in the Epstein files is a little bit different because they made this huge fucking thing. They're like, this is chapter 1. And Trump thinks that he's going to be able to use the Epstein files to pick and choose his enemies and just release that. And that's why he did it initially. He's like, okay, yeah. So we have the Epstein files. I own cash. I own Pam Bondi. This time I control the federal government because I have all my people in and I'm fucking coming for scalps. Like, if you understand Trump's personality, you can back into every decision that he makes pretty much. And it's like, Trump can't let someone say on Twitter, like, I think the decision Trump made is a bad one. And Trump's like, I think that your kid is ugly and you're a fucking loser. Like he can't let any slight go at all. Like he can't do it, dude. He's going to fight all the time, that's what I liked about him. When I voted for him in 2020 and 2024, is I was like, I now recognize that all of these people who are his enemies are fucking my enemies also. So he is going to go and bury all of them. And when it came, so with the Epstein files, it's like, okay, so how is this going to serve his ends? It's simple, dude. He's got a hit list and he's got people dead to rights. And honestly, the other thing I think for me, at least if I was going to go out there, they tried to put him in prison. They tried to take Trump Tower from him. They tried to take Mar-a-Lago from him and throw him in prison. They tried to destroy his life and his entire family's legacy. You fucking do that to me, and then you put me in a position where I control the federal government, and my priority is going to be bury your entire fucking family under the jail. And so that's what the Epstein files probably was to him, until he didn't realize, like, when they really got into it, they're like, Mr. President, you are in this file a lot. Like, you're in this a lot. And I don't believe any of the accusations that he fucked kids at all. Like, I don't believe them at all, just because I don't think he did. And I say that confidently because the best predictor of what someone's going to do is past behavior. Like, people who are capable of being a lying, sniveling fucking thief will have stolen from people before and lied about it. Somewhat like you find out that your buddy's wife, like in her last marriage, sucked her boss off. It's like, you better fucking keep an eye on her, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you better keep an eye. And so when it comes to
womanizer, don't mean pedophile. You know
exactly. And the people you give a man a level of fame and wealth that Trump has had his entire life. What you can know for sure is you are going to know exactly what their sexual preferences are, because they will make it very obvious. Like, that's the thing, is people who are super wealthy and famous, all you have to do is just look and you'll know exactly what they like to fuck, because it becomes obvious. Trump likes tall, blonde adults. Okay. Like, it's as simple as that.
Good looking.
He is consistent on this, and he has never had any shame about it. And there are no people who are tall, blonde, 30-year-old chick who are like on the side like kids. The ones who like kids, they fucking like kids, man.
Yeah.
And the ones who like them, teenage or whatever, they like them teenagers. That's what they do. And so you give them enough fame, they're going to take what they want. Trump is a womanizer who fucks adults. Like, there's no like moonlighting, I rape kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, so I never believed any of it. In addition to the fact that the fucking attorney who represented the 230 victims of the Epstein thing at the exact time when Trump actually was in the Epstein orbit, said not only did Trump not have a single accusation against him from any of these women, he's the only one who actually helped our case. So I'm like, okay. So that's why when people are like, oh, Trump's fucking molesting kids, I'm like, shut up, dude. Like, I don't care what's in the file. You understand who had the file before this? Trump's arch enemies.
Yeah. And
they're the ones who control the file.
They would have let that out long ago.
Exactly.
Long ago. Jesse, you're pretty good at this, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I know we're time crunch, and I know
no, we're good, dude. I told my wife I told her probably like 1:15, so I got like 35 minutes.
All right. Hey, I wanted to bring something up that I don't know a lot. I think it was undersold, dude. This whole internet, where this deciphered code. Dude, I don't understand how your brain works. I'm just going to say, because I don't know how you identified that. Dude, you may have stopped a freaking terrorist attack, but possible. We'll never know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so I didn't break the code. All I did was identified that this appears that there's an embedded cipher in it.
How?
So
I look at that shit and I'm like, it's fucking nonsense. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. The best way that I can kind of explain it is like, I have a photographic memory when it comes to, it's not photographic. That's why it's like I can explain it this way. It's like some people have a photographic memory and that's like a real thing. Like, but this is very real also. I remember every fucking detail that I have ever heard or learned about a person or people that I've learned ever. Like, I remember all of it, every single thing that goes into like how a person would behave, predicting what a person would do. And I mean, like, to the point, like, they have these they have these EQ tests, right? Like, where they test someone's like emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
And that I'm not testable because the way that they do a bunch of it is with like visual pictures of people. And it's like, what emotion is this person expressing? And I can't test because it's an actor who's doing it for the test. And so I know it's like, oh, they think they want me to say this, but like, I can tell you what the actor is feeling underneath this. Like, I could tell you whether that fucking actor is a person who would cheat on their husband. I could tell you that if the actor is a person who would, like, I could tell you fucking anything about him from the photograph where they're acting like they're doing something else. I can't even test on it. So like, when it comes to this kind of thing, I remember everything like that. And so the reason
I understand that ain't like, no, is that normal? I don't think that's normal, dude.
No, it's not normal at all. Believe me, like, this is, it's frustrating for me because there are certain things that are so obvious to me, and it's not like I even if I try to communicate it to people, they can't understand it. Where I'm like, oh my God, it's right fucking there.
Well, dude, I'll be watching you and I'll be like, what the fuck is he? And then you explain it. And I'm like, man, I'm a fucking dumbass. How did I not see that? And I just don't understand how you can.
Well, the code thing was like, I watched a documentary about this a long time ago, a million years ago. I watched a documentary about the Aryan Brotherhood and how they communicated with each other in prison. And and it was called, they used a cipher that was from Sir Francis Bacon. And it was, essentially, like, you write a letter, and embedded in the letter, every time that there's a capitalized letter, they either wrote it with a certain way, or if they put a little squirrely on the top of it, very, very like subtle, then that it was like each one represented either a 1 or a 2. And then there's a secondary layer of the code where you translate the 1 and the 2 into like letters. And so they'd have this huge fucking letter. And then when you decipher it, it says war on DC blacks. That's all it says. It's like this fucking multi-page thing. And so, and I always remember that. I was like, fuck, that's clever, dude. And the only way that the guards or the prison system ever found that out or figured it out is because someone rolled on the gang. Like, they would have never figured that out in a million years. So but I remember that. And then, so when I was looking at his post, and you got like, this is the guy.
Explain who this is, because I don't think a lot of people know.
Yeah. So David, well, his real name's James, but when Charlie Kirk got shot, there was a person who was in the crowd, and immediately after Charlie got shot, he turned in the direction that the shot came from and started cheering with his hands up and chanting USA, USA. So like, this is another thing. It's like, you don't need to have my ability to like read people to know that the easiest thing to predict is, what is a person going to do if they fear for their life? Because the answer is either run or hide. Nobody turns in the direction of a shooter and cheers. That's not a thing that anyone does. No one. If someone acts that out of character, you know that they are either completely crazy or they have foreknowledge and they know something that everyone else doesn't. And so that was that guy. And then he put 2 videos on social media, both of which were, well, the first one was him reading some fucking AI script trying to explain his behavior. And when he got torched, the next one was him showing what he's really like. And he's like snarling at the camera. Yeah. And he's like, my soldiers, what you couldn't script a fucking leftist terrorist better than this guy.
Yeah.
So he went offline for months. And then in October, or I guess it would have been like a month, in October, he comes back online and just makes this one random post on X that has all of these intentional misspellings and all of these weird punctuations. And like, some of them, it would be like 2 stars before this, and then another one 2 stars before that. And then there was, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, this has got to be some kind of cipher. Like, what the fuck could this mean? This doesn't mean anything, but it's very long, and there's all kinds of things that are repeating throughout the post. And so, you know, like I said, I remember everything. So I'm like, what if maybe it's a cipher like the Aryan Brotherhood uses when they pass whatever. So I said it on a video, and then, you know, if I say a thing like that, then my entire audience is going to be like, well, let me see if I can crack this thing. And everybody's using AI trying to crack it. And I mean, I can't even explain to you how many people tried with AI to break it, and it was coming up with nothing. They'd either say there's no code here, or, you know, sometimes people would use some weird thing and it would be like a sentence that was basically identical to what the message that he, you know, did. But then this guy emailed me and he said, hey, I used this specific type of cipher key that, you know, translates capital letters to numbers or whatever. And he's like, you know, was looking for coordinates and dates. And he's like, here's what it came up with. And it was like, you know, this coordinate, this date, this coordinate, this date. And I'm like, huh. And that was the first person who actually had something that looked like a message that someone might actually want to share publicly, that with a hidden message in it.
Yeah.
So my investigator, he had literally tried 10,000 ways to break this cipher. And it was like, just no. I mean, like everything. And then when we gave it the cipher key, that guy emailed us. All of a sudden, it just unlocked it. And every question we asked, we tried to get it to say that there was no code embedded 1,000 different ways. And it just kept saying, Gemini kept saying, it's like, no, this code is embedded in this. It absolutely is embedded in this.
You tried to disprove it.
That's all we did, is try to be disprove
okay.
it. That's how I do everything. Is like, if I start floating a hypothesis, all I do is try to break it. Well, I look for supporting evidence, but even more than that is I look for data points that will disprove the hypothesis. Because that's like, I mean, that's
the only way.
If there's something that doesn't fit, then clearly your hypothesis is wrong. Which again, and I don't want to sidetrack this, is why I don't understand how this is not so fucking obvious about Charlie Kirk to me. Like, I don't understand. Like,
I gotta get to that, man.
The whole thing is so fucking obvious. It hurts. It fucking hurts how obvious it is to me. And now, but like,
boys are in the control room going, get to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, we'll get to Charlie. But yeah, anyway, so like the spit out the dates and the you know, and the locations, whatever, and I ended up going up the ladder, and I ended up like interacting with someone very high in the FBI, and then they went to the top of the FBI and they gave it to him. And then on the exact fucking date that was in the code, basically the exact thing that was warned about in the thing happened in the port of LA, but they ended up putting it out. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's fuck, dude, AI plays tricks on people all the time. So that's why I never like take credit for anything, because I didn't break the code, and I have no, like, AI could have just been feeding us horse shit.
But dude, if you wouldn't have kept up with it and kept trying and trying and trying, who knows what could have happened?
I mean, if that went bad at the port of LA, it would have been a catastrophe that's impossible. Even it's like there was a 20-mile shelter in place while they were figuring it out. They took the ship out a mile from the port, because like while they were dealing with it, because they knew if it went bad, they needed to be a mile offshore to minimize casualties. You know,
man.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, man. I just felt like it was underplayed, and I know you want to be humble about it.
Well, I didn't talk about it, except the video leaked, and then so I was like, I just explained to people what it was, but I wasn't trying to like.
Oh no! I just when your mind don't work like that. Mm-hmm. It's amazing when somebody can, you know, that can see it and go, sure, well, that has to be code. That makes no sense. My dumb ass would have looked at it and said, huh, he's an idiot. but Charlie, mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you what. The first time I heard Charlie wasn't shot was a guy used to be on the podcast with me, still could be if he could get here. But he said, I don't think he's dead. And I'm like, yeah, all right, you kook.
Exactly what I said.
But this guy thinks Jackie Kennedy killed John Kennedy in the car. So, I mean,
That's the biggest.
I'm going by that. So I'm like, all right, you're a kook. But then you started saying it, and I'm like, oh no, not Jesse. And then you start talking, and then I'm watching Candace, and I'm like, shit don't add up unless it's what Jesse's saying.
Candace is how I fucking figured it out. But Candace can't take that final step. Like, I figured it out because of stuff she reported. Well, partially.
She broke the case without breaking the case.
She's trying to solve the wrong crime.
Yeah. Now, explain to people. I mean, I know you ain't got hours, and that's hours, and they can go to your channel and watch.
If they go to I mean, this is the thing about this is like listening to me verbally explain it is never going to convince anyone of anything except that they're going to be like, wow, this guy sounded smart right up until he started talking about the fucking Charlie Kirk case. And then I realized he's a crazy person. And honestly, I just don't give a fuck about that. It's like, if I know I'm right about something, like I'll just put it out there. And it's like, if I know people are going to think I'm crazy and they, it's like, that means I either didn't do a good enough job explaining it, or they are not smart enough to understand what I'm putting out there. Because if I've explained it well enough, and I know when I have, then if people are still like, nah, there's no way, then I'm like, you're a moron.
Well, I watched you with Danks, and it was like,
but did you watch my series? Have you watched?
Yeah. And it's the only thing that makes sense.
It literally answers every single question
because everybody is implicated. And that's the only way. I have a hard time believing they had him killed. It's just
and also like exactly what I was saying about predicting human behavior. You don't need to be able to like look at people and see every capability that they have to know like the predicting behavior. Look at past behavior. There is not one example in all of human history where a political assassination happened that was orchestrated by about 8 to 10 of somebody's inner circle, their best, closest friends, in addition to obvious collaboration with people top of the government to make it look this way, in addition to there's no fucking blood. Okay?
Exactly.
There's no fucking blood. Everyone saw it. It exploded out of his neck. And then the entire scene all over, all of the fucking the military operators, every single one of that's how the blood thing got on my radar. Is they were like, I saw Valhalla talking with another one of his buddies who had been deployed, and they're like, where's the blood? They're like, they're supposedly packing the wound. They're like, there should be blood all over all of them.
Anyone who's ever seen an artery cut there is so much blood, dude. And even where his body, you talked about it the other day, inside the truck, there's like a little smear, there's like a little smear here. That truck would be loaded.
Charlie's shirt is not covered in blood. His fucking he's wearing a white fucking shirt, man.
And it's like, and a hose coming out of it.
And with a hose, very conveniently, like, right underneath, right to where if you were going to make it look like blood dumped out of your neck, this is exactly where it would be, taped right here. And I show the exact Hollywood, like the Hollywood breakdown. Here is how you make someone look like they are bleeding out of their neck. And it was done 4 years before Charlie got shot. And it's identical. It's fucking identical in every single. And then I show he's got a hose connection behind on the back of his shirt, exactly like this thing that I just showed you here. Identical. There's no fucking blood.
Yeah.
And every single person around him, all these people that like these other people look at, they're all, I think that they conspired to kill him. And I'm like, oh, and none of them are even a little bit concerned about getting caught for capital murder. Like there's no grieving. B, they are not nervous. Okay. Like if you did not know that this was going to happen and he gets murdered, you would be overwhelmed with grief in a way that I don't think any of them even understand how to act. And if they committed the murder and you have Candace breathing down your fucking neck, showing everybody that you did it, they are going to be overcome with fear that they're going to get caught and get the fucking electric chair. And none of them are doing any of that. And like, so I watched this and I'm like, oh my God, how does no one see it? I fucking fed it to you, dude.
That's how I was when you said it. I'm like, man, I'm a fucking idiot. How did I not fucking see it? I called him I called you a weirdo when you first came out with it. I was like, holy shit, Jesse, what
because
the
it
fuck
sounds
happened?
crazy. And it was like, well, I mean, the thing is, my buddy who first brought it to me was exactly like that. I was like, bro, like, I'm down to entertain any theory, but that is fucking ludicrous. Like, there's no, Charlie's not alive. Why would they fake it? Well, the thing is, like, for me to get there, I had to, because to me, I'm like, what possible fucking motive would they have to do some big, elaborate fucking fake death that doesn't even make any sense? That's why I was so dismissive of it. And it was just, all it was like, here again, like I said, I try to disprove theories. That's all I do. And I run simulations in the back of my head all the time. And the thing is, like, every time that TPUSA did something new, and it was so weird, it was so fucking weird, like, just the behavior made no sense. I just kept going. I'm like, well, if Charlie's alive, would that explain it? And I was like, yes, it would. Okay, it would explain it for this one. Then it was like, okay, it would explain it for this one. Okay, it would explain it for this one. And it's like, every time I ran if Charlie's alive, does that account for this problem with what they're doing? And every time it did. But again, I still didn't get because I couldn't like break through the motive and like, why would they do it? And it wasn't until I realized that if they pin this on leftists, that it was going to make them so powerful. And that was the first thing. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, wait a minute. So that actually could be motive, not by itself. And then you have all these messages from Candace and Charlie from fucking 2018, where he's been talking his entire life that he's going to die young. And I'm like, maybe he's terrified. He wants to fucking raise his kids. So maybe he thinks that he needs to die in order to like initiate this revolution that's going to happen. I'm like, maybe he's like, I want to raise my kids and I would rather fake it and then have that. But then when I really was like, when I knew I had it for sure, was when I put together, because I remember everything, that soon, this is the part no one remembers. And I've been forgetting to bring this up when I've been talking about this on other shows.
We'll break it up now.
The linchpin of this fucking thing, the absolute linchpin of this thing is, remember what I was saying about Trump with the Epstein files and how he wants to use them to bury his enemies? Yep. So Charlie is just like me. Like, I've been watching all this stuff in terms of like what the stories about him from behind the scenes and how he was able to stay neutral in all of these different ways to bring people together. Yeah. And I know he and I think very, very similar. Well, like I said, if someone puts me in a strategy, area, like doing this,
brilliant.
So he puts together this. Who does he need to say yes to this plan? Right. First of all, his motive is he would be going to prison. He was about to go to prison. He's terrified. So anyone
about that too, Jess, is not only was he terrified of going to prison, if Trump didn't want, and that could have happened the next term if a Democrat comes in. They
exactly.
Can bring, okay, what about Israel when he came out against Israel?
And he's scared of them too.
Fear? Okay, that's
for sure. He's afraid of them too, and also I think that there's a big part of that where Charlie recognized that Israel is the biggest threat to this country that we have now, and he couldn't fight against them publicly. I think is part of it. But the thing is, okay, so this explains why Charlie would want to fake his death. He wants to protect his people from going to prison. He's going to protect himself from going to prison after being absolutely sure that if we lose the election, he's going to prison for a very long time. Yeah. These guys were done playing games by this point. He's got that. Then it's like, okay, then on the leftist. And then it's like, oh my God, it's going to make us so strong because of Butler. Like the Butler thing happened. Trump wins the election right there. This will be just like that, except it'll give us absolute power to enact all of the things that we want. But how do you sell it to Trump? Because that on its own is not enough for Trump to sign off on this and have him green light like the resources where they were going to be able to do this. Because you have to, like, Trump has to be involved because cash is the linchpin and he owns cash. So it's like you have to get Trump. And so how do you do that? And this is the detail everybody always like kind of breezes over, and I've been forgetting to bring up, but it wouldn't matter because people are too fucking dumb to understand this.
You bet.
But the linchpin of how he sold Trump is following the assassination, they determined that Antifa was a domestic terror group. And so people kind of heard, they heard that headline. It's like, oh, Antifa is domestic terror. These left-wing groups are domestic terror. And they're like, okay, cool, like whatever. And they think like that doesn't mean anything. Oh, it means a lot. It means a fucking lot. And what that means is they can legally target anyone who is involved in those groups and whoever funds those groups. And who funds those groups? Soros and all of these fucking guys. This assassination was them unlocking the ability to go after these guys who are the actual arch enemies of the state. And so so you get all of these benefits. This is how Charlie's thinking about it. You get all of these benefits all at once. We get to solidify our base. I will be able to protect my people, and I'm not going to go to prison. Trump and us, we are going to get to actually be able to, because as soon as they're dictated domestic terror groups, what that means is you have the gloves get taken off completely in terms of getting into these guys' shit. So like Soros, they have no protections anymore. None. Like they can't rely on, no unusual search and seizure. They're not allowed in our devices. Oh, they're not, whatever. Oh yeah, they fucking are now. It's the Patriot Act. They can do whatever they want now. They could fucking come into your house and fucking pull your wife's pants down and say that they were looking for fucking, proof of, or that they were investigating whether she had a bomb in her underwear. It's like, you can do whatever the fuck you want now because they're terror groups and those guys fund them. And immediately right after they did the determine them, domestic terror, JD Vance comes out and he says, we're going to be targeting people who fund these groups. Like they fucking said it out loud. They'll always tell you what they're doing. And that's how you get the yes from Trump. And so the plan should be perfect. And Charlie obviously is not going to sacrifice his influence, because the other thing is people think that this incident like destroyed TPUSA. It's literally the exact opposite. It is the exact opposite of that. If anybody goes and looks up the statistics on how big TPUSA was before versus now, it's like it's non-comparable. They've grown, like they've 5x'd since before this happened, and they've raised so much more money.
And so Charlie is still on their board.
He's still on the board. It's his organization. He's still running it. And so like, and he knows that he can put Erica in at CEO, and he still has total control of the company, even though he's still on the fucking board. So he's just like, he's doing conference calls with all these guys. Like I'm telling you,
why is she acting so weird though?
Because she is faking. She doesn't. If you've never had a loss like that, how would you even know how to act? It's like, because, and also you have you couldn't have two more diametrically opposite emotions than you would grief like this versus we just pulled off the most unbelievable fucking like psyop of all time together with all our best friends. Like they're all best friends. They're just like, these are all like, they're a fucking social crew. They're all friends. They just happen to do politics together. So people think that there's all this cloak and dagger stuff, but they're just friends. And like, imagine planning this with your fucking best friends and then you fucking pull it off. And so she is supposed to be acting like this overwhelmed, broken, grieving widow, when what she's actually feeling at the same time is, holy shit, I can't fucking believe this worked.
We did it.
We did it. And it was so obvious. Like, it's so fucking obvious that it's unbelievable. And it's like people will go like, well, the 30-06, no exit wound. And it's like, yeah, that's weird, huh?
Well, we're from Indiana, man. All of us hunt. All right. And we know there's no way.
Impossible.
It couldn't happen. And then I watch you, what was that, with Big Country or
Heavy Duty Country?
Yep. Yeah. Where you proved it right there. I mean, people that hunt, people in the military,
everybody knows. They know. Valhalla fucking shot it through like 1/2-inch steel, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just
a human fucking neck.
Yeah. There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. It's absurd. It's fucking laughable, dude.
I mean, there's more on your neck than there is mine. Mine's just flab. But
nonetheless, dude, it's like, honestly, the size of a human neck like if you have a soft tip round, it might not even have enough space to expand. Like it's just going to go right through it. Like you might not even have that crazy of an exit wound, but no exit wound is impossible. Fucking impossible.
No matter where it hits you.
Not possible.
I mean,
they're like, oh yeah, it hit the spine and went down. It would blow your spine into 1,000 pieces, dude. Like it's just dumb.
I wish I had hunting videos that we I just wish we could show what it does to a actual deer.
Yeah.
And how much bigger and mass a deer has compared to a fucking neck.
Yeah. And the thing is, you could show that to everyone and they still would not be able to go, okay, well, so if it definitely wasn't a 30-06, what does it mean? And then it's like, oh, well, I think it's the exploding mic. And I understand why they think that is because they did have a device under his shirt. That's the whole thing is all of these people have solved the fucking case and they just can't they can't get out of their own way to see what it all means. It's like, so wait, there's a device underneath the shirt that puffed his shirt out at the exact moment that he gets hit in the neck.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, right, I know, like almost like they're doing it to make it look like he got shot. And then, oh, there's no exit wound. And also he's wearing a white shirt and he supposedly bled out. Hey, how did he die? How did Charlie die, guys? He got shot in the neck. How did he die? It's like, oh, well, he bled out. Or maybe like he got hit in the spine. He got hit in the spine, but there's no exit wound. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And like anybody, he would have bled out is the answer. He would have bled out fast, but he'd have bled out. And that would have been, it would have been a bucket of blood.
The beaches of Normandy is what it would look like right there.
Yeah.
And, but here you're still going to have those idiots that go, well, okay, it wasn't the 30-06. Well,
it's the exploding mic.
Yeah. Well, people, you can tell them and they'll still believe it was a 30-06. I've ran into those people.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's true. Some people, they like to quote. Yeah, they like to quote that that Martin Luther King was killed by a 30-06 without an exit wound. And I'm like, so your example now, your fucking example of ballistically identical, situation is the most suspect fucking assassination ever, where we know that the officials were lying to us across the board. We know they killed him. Like we know the FBI killed Martin Luther King. You guys know it. We all know it. And the FBI said it's a 30-06 with no exit wound. And you're all, okay, yeah, that's legit.
Yeah. It's like, you can't even walk them through it. If you had pictures of it, they wouldn't believe it.
I did walk them through it and they still can't most of the time when people like tell me when they're like, there's no way. And I'm like, did you watch my series? And they say, yes, I know they're lying. I know they're lying because no one who is even a little bit smart could watch my series and still feel confident enough to just in my face be like, there's no way. I'm like, that's not okay. Then that means you didn't watch it because they're just bottom line. I know you. I know you're smart, which means you didn't watch it because if you watched it, you would not feel this confident. It's like,
and that's what me and my wife said is like, you can't watch all the episodes and walk away where at least it's not an option, Correct. You can't say, okay, it's not a possibility. It's the only thing that fits.
And that's the other thing is like, there's an entire industry of people where we're doing the Charlie Kirk thing. We're bringing justice to Charlie Kirk. We're investigating the murder. And literally any of them, you go, what exactly happened? Who did it? What is the method that they killed him with? What explains the lack of an exit wound and the total lack of, okay, exploding mic. Okay, that's fine. Where's all the blood? Because especially if you have the exploding mic, now there's no spine shot. Okay, now you just have a neck wound. He would have bled out, right? So like, and then why is there no blood on his shirt? You guys have to explain this. What is his security doing? Why is Mikey McCoy walking away at the exact moment that he gets shot and he just walks away like he's done this 1,000? Nothing's going on. Why is Terrell Farnsworth, his fucking close associate, why is he taking the SD cards out of the camera a couple minutes after this thing happens? How could that have been a priority?
How could they have all known that there wasn't going to be a second shot?
Correct. How are all of those guys acting that calm? And then why is Terrell Farnsworth on the wall over there filming? And he gets a perfect shot of Charlie getting carried to the SUV and a very conspicuous, complete lack of any drops of blood, not a drop of blood on the fucking pavement. And then how come the first aid guys walk over to the SUV and they try to give them first aid and they keep him from getting any first aid. They try to give him the first aid bag and they don't take it from him. And then they just drive. Why would they do that? And they're like, well, it's because they're the ones who killed him. I'm like,
yeah.
So then where's the blood if they killed him? Like, that's what I'm saying. He's like, where's the fucking blood then? You're saying they killed him. Okay. Where's the blood? Why is there no blood? And it's like, you put it all together and I'm telling, like, I can't even explain to you how obvious it is to me. Like, I would bet literally now, chapter 7, fucking 2015, current state, my credit score, I just actually saw this. My credit score is now up to 823. I have an 823 credit score as of this week. But I've got some fucking dough too. It's like, I would literally take every dime that I have in 1 second and bet that I'm right. Like instantaneously. And
but here's the thing about guys with some kind of intelligence. If they come out, when Discovery comes out, what is that, May? That we're
the Tyler Robinson case?
Yeah. I'm willing to change my mind if
me
you
too.
Show me. But that's just a sign of intelligence. What I'm looking at now is what we have and what you've shown. And what you've shown makes a hell of a lot more sense of what Patel's,
or any of the other podcasters.
Yeah,
you're right there. Like, and the people who have like known about my theory and are specifically this one guy who's been like frantic. He wants to debate me, he wants to do whatever. And I looked at his content and I was like, shut up. Then when I looked at his content, I'm like, oh, you don't want to debate me. You solved the fucking case. Like, you literally, all of the stuff that you have brought to the table is not only you're correct and I agree with you, but you have these two other things that I didn't even know about, but they prove my point, not yours. It's like, because I understand if you take for granted that Charlie Kirk was dead and Charlie Kirk was murdered, then yeah, I would feel like what all these things you identified are real. The problem is that you don't have the thing that I have, which is like, I will predict human behavior to a level of accuracy that is not even fucking measurable. And I'm telling you, guy, now it's time to interpret all of this stuff at once. And I'm telling you, I'm not wrong.
People will think you're being arrogant, but you've proved this time
over and over and over and over.
And it's real easy to take you as arrogant, but it's not arrogant when it's a fact. And
my entire life, I've never been wrong about something like this ever. Not when it comes to the people. I've been wrong about a million things. And that's the thing is if they listen to what I'm saying, it's like when I say I am not going to get this, but I do say I'm wrong all the time. I'm never wrong about this though. Like when it comes to people, I'm never fucking wrong. Never. Fucking never. But I can be wrong about all kinds of shit. And I have no problem admitting it. But what I'm saying is like, I only talk about how good I am at this because I'm trying to communicate. I don't know how else to communicate to people that people believe me. I fucking know what I'm talking about. Like, I promise.
Are stupid, Jesse, and they have no competence, and that's why I'm so happy that you're on the internet to show men how to be freaking men. Be confident.
Yeah. But they're confident.
They take it as arrogance, and it's not arrogance.
It would be arrogance if I was a person who never admitted when I was wrong, but which I do all the time. It's just like, but with I'm not saying that anyone who doesn't believe my theory is dumb. What I'm saying is like, there's for some reason people can't get to the point where they entertain it. Even like, I mean, I don't think that there's anybody who's actually watched my whole series that would be like, oh, there's no way, but I think that there are an enormous number of people who are very smart who won't even watch the series because they can't entertain it. They're like, I'm not going to fucking watch that, dude. Like, this is stupid. And it's like, even with the credibility that I have with that, they still won't even watch it because they're like, that's fucking absurd. And you're like, it's absurd.
You challenge their intellect. and that scares some people.
But I don't even think I don't think it would challenge their integral. They just have to watch it because there's no. Again, I think
some people got to be right, Jesse. Some people got to be right all the time, and they don't want to hear other opinions.
Yeah, but there's it just doesn't even make if there's so many fucking questions they can't answer, and it's like I have an answer for you, and I can literally back up all the questions you have. I have an answer for all of them. Yeah.
And everybody, you got to go to Jesse on Fire and look at. There ain't enough time in a day right now for Jesse to, even close to prove it to you. If you go watch the videos and start at the first one, and you have it as a whole series.
Yeah. If they watch the first 4 episodes, because there's critical information in each of the first 4 episodes. The first one is like my stated goal with the first one was to show the motive and then to show how I figured it out in terms of their human behavior, because that's the first hurdle I have to get over is I need to understand why they would do this. And so that's basically the first one. And then the second one, and the reason this was the second one, because I wasn't even going to do this one until later, but Valhalla, after the first one, he watched that one. And he's like, if you can't explain how I watched a guy get shot, cavitation in his neck looked like that. He's like, if you can't explain that, then the whole theory makes no sense. So the second episode, I did all of the effects and exactly how they did it. I showed it side by side. But this is one of those things
I am with it.
It's here you go. And anybody who watches that episode in terms of watch episode 2 and then see how they make blood effects like that. And then look at this in comparison and look at the fact that Charlie on the fucking side of his neck that got shot, he looks like he looks like a chubby kid in 50 different pictures from that side versus his other side. And that's never been the case. Otherwise, there's definitely something's up with his face that day. And then the thing that I haven't even I usually get to the end and don't even talk about is the fucking Snake Eyes movie, which is the absolute. I mean, this is what I'm saying. This is why I know I'm right. I know I'm right. There's not I have no doubts at all. I don't have any. The Snake Eyes movie is the fucking guy, Charles Kirkland, in the movie gets shot in the identical spot that Charlie Kirk got shot in. They fucking have Erica wearing the same dress as the girl. The fucking movie is Tyler the Executioner on September 10th is going to be it's all right there. And then it turns out that Charlie's fucking lieutenant who does all the fundraising for TV USA co-founded the Gary Sinise Foundation, and Gary Sinise is the fucking second leading actor in that movie. It's guys, it's fucking right there. Jesus, it's infuriating, dude.
I know, and I can tell when you're on there when people just the comments and it's.
Well, they haven't seen it though. If they just watch the series, then of course they won't act like that. It's when this guy emailed me the other night and he was he's trying to explain to me why, it's so obvious that, and by the way, the people who are most confident are always the fucking Israel did it people. And so they're typing it out and I'm like, okay, I've said this 1,000 times. I'm not saying Israel didn't have motive. Yeah, sure. Of course they had motive. But and what I said to him is I'm like, okay, here's how I'm going to respond to you and anyone else who wants to fucking blow up my email about this. Have you watched the first 4 episodes of my series? Because if not, you're fucking insulting me and wasting my fucking time. Okay. Know how many people want to have a conversation with me about this case? I've done 150,000 times more research on this than you. And all I'm saying is a prerequisite before you want to have a conversation with me about it outside of, you can go in the comments, say whatever the fuck you want. You want to blow up my fucking email or be text messaging me shit? Watch the fucking series first, because if you haven't seen the series, you're wasting my fucking time because I can't verbally explain it to you. You have to see it. You have to see all of it. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. And that's the thing. I realize it sounds crazy.
Of course.
It sounds ridiculous.
It sounds like something you maybe don't even need to waste your time with, which is why people don't.
And dude, once you watch it, you cannot, my wife said it perfect. You cannot walk away from this not thinking it's a possibility, at least.
Correct.
I walked away going, dude, that's what happened.
Oh, like I said, I'm positive that I'm right.
But hey, Jesse, I got real quick. I'm going to go through some quick questions.
Yeah, go for it. I got about 8 minutes.
All right, here we go. It's just real quick questions and then we'll get off here. All right, man. Cats or dogs?
Cats now. I was a dog person forever. Now I'm a cat person.
Chinese or Mexican food?
Mexican.
Baseball or football?
Football.
Jiu-jitsu or podcasting?
Podcasting.
Yes. All right. The last one. You really got to think about this, Jesse.
Mhm.
Mike with Shut Up and Think podcast or Ben Shapiro?
Shut up and think.
That's me, Jesse.
Oh! I thought you were talking like. I was trying to think of. I thought you were talking about like other like sniveling little right wing fucks. Like, because you're like podcasting jujitsu. I thought it was like someone like Ben Shapiro, and I was like,
no, I hate Ben Shapiro.
Oh yeah, Mike. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna do that one again because
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Mike with Shut Up and Think podcast or Ben Shapiro?
Oh, you guys for sure.
Thank you, Jesse. Jesse, man, you are freaking awesome. You're great to your fans. I appreciate everything you do. We love Gabrielta. Tell her we said hey.
I will.
Your kids are precious, and keep on doing what you're doing, brother.
Thank
you're
you so
doing
much.
Great, and you're making men again. So thank you so much, man.
You are very welcome. Thank you for having me on. I'm gonna go make my girls into good golfers right now.
Hey, sounds like a plan, bud.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Have a great day.
Thank you. You too, man.
Be blessed, bud. How was it?